So today I'm going to be doing a bit of plumbing and a bit of electrical work in the attic before we finish off the insulation. So I thought I'd just do a bit of a short video just about plumbing the radiator in, so the first fix of the radiator plumbing and the first fix of the electrics. We'll do a first fix of an aerial cable and a first fix of a data cable, depending on how we get out on for time. So my first job is the radiator. It's probably going to take the longest, so I'm going to do that first. So I've got some copper pipe which I've got from Firstfix, that 15mm copper pipe. I'm just going to use the standard Yorkshire fittings that Alicia's got down there. So they're just the standard solder on Yorkshire fittings. And it's not the brightest in here, but they're the radiator pipes. So you can see at the bottom of the radiator, at the bottom of the boiler there. And see me sort of return is the far right pipe, and the floor is the far left pipe on this particular boiler. So once you come across here, I've got that's my return and that's my floor. So what I'm going to have to do first is sort of drain the boiler. I'm not going to drain the full system if I can help it. What I'm going to do is go around the house, turn all the radiator valves off, then go into the kitchen where the drain off is, and I'll get a bit of footage of that. I'll then drain it down. Hopefully that'll empty the water out of the pipes from up here, or most of it, but not the full system, so it'll keep the inhibitor and stuff in. Once I've, at the end of everything, when I've put some new radiators on and things, I will then drain the full system, put some new inhibitor in, but just for the sake of putting it in for a few weeks or months and then taking it back out again, it's a bit of a waste of time. So that's what I'm going to do for now. So my first job is I'm just going to lay out the pipe along where the radiator is going. You can see I've got the tape measure on the bottom there. The radiator itself is going to be 1200, 1.2 meters. So my pipe centres will be the 1.2 meters, plus I'm going to allow 2 inches on either side, which will allow for the radiator valves. So it's 1.2 plus 2 inches on either side, and that'll give us the position of the pipes for now. Literally, like I said, it'll be 2 pipes in, capped off, left, do the rest of the attic, and then at the very end I'll put the radiator on. So a few videos down the line you'll see the radiator going on, but we'll do a bit of soldering and get a bit of pipe work on in this one, and go from there. I'm just going to get a bit of footage of the soldering. So what I've done is I've dry fitted all the pipe, I've measured it to length, got it to the centres, it's just all dry fitted, pushed together. So now I'm going to prepare the pipe to solder it. So you can see I'm just using the Yorkshire fittings, so the ring solder fittings. Use this rotary cutter to cut it with. Got a deburring tool there, so I'm literally, I've already done it once anyway, but you can see just getting any rough edges off. With some wire wool. The pipe's all new and clean anyway, but just to make sure there's no contaminants on it. Just put a heat-proof pad under where I'm going to solder, just to try and not damage the floor too much. Got me solder flux paste. So any of the pipe work that's going to get soldered, I'm just putting that on. I've just put the clips on to hold it in place as well. They are just plastic clips, so they do sometimes melt if you solder too close to them. I've got a bag full there anyway, but hopefully they'll sort of stay. So I've got my grips just to hold the pipe as I'm soldering. And what I want to do is solder the two ends. So this is where one of the pipes is going to be fixed. I'll do the other one, and then I'll do the final connection, so I know the centres are all dead right as I'm going. Soldering, I'm just using these sort of disposable Rothenberger canisters, just screw on. It's about empty, this one actually, so I might need to change it in a minute. Solder all the way around there, so I'm going to forget about that now. These two, I'm going to try and give them heat all at once so it's nice and equally distribute the solder. I'm not overheating one or underheating another. And that's it. Hasn't moved anywhere. I can see there's a nice ring of solder around everything. I'll give that 5 or 10 minutes to cool down. Once it's cooled down, I'll take my wire wool and give it a nice rub off to get rid of any flux off or anything like that. A nice clean finish. So I'm just at the other side of the radiator now, exactly the same thing. I'm going to take it apart, give it a clean, deburr. I have already deburred it and everything, but I'll do it again just so I'm 100% sure and get it all nicely fixed on. Two radiator tails done over there. They're clipped along now. So we're coming over where we're going to pick the original radiator up from. So I've drained the radiators off downstairs. Just got a drain tap. I will show you that later on in the video. But now what I'm going to do is cut into where the flow and the return are. So I've checked a couple of times because there's a gas pipe here, that's the gas pipe, so we don't want to put into that. But we have got the flow and the return, the return and the flow. So I'm going to put one of these into 22 to 15mm reducer. Like I said, I've got that one on. So I'll see where it goes. So what I need to do is cut into the pipe, and that's cut there now. There's no water off of it, very little, so that's fine. There's not a lot of movement in there. So what I need to do is cut out a section about a centimetre, possibly a couple of centimetres, just enough so I can sort of slide that in.
so I'll do that now.
Just get a bit of a close-up shot round here, just so you can see what's going on.
So I'll just put the light on there. So you can see I've got the two pipes dry fitted into my return and my floor. I'm just going to solder them in. So on that one I had to I just cut a section of pipe out like you seen earlier on. On the back one there was a coupler in there already, so I desoldered that, just heated it up, wiggled it around with me eagle beaks, got it out, I've put it in. There's also a couple of fittings there, and that sort of runs all the way along the back there. It's nicely clipped. You can see it's coming out there, and that gives us our centres for the radiator. So we'll get a 1.2 metre radiator in there, and then like I said earlier on, I've allowed 2 inches at either side for the TRV valves and things like that. And that's just by going by the other radiators of the same make. It's Screwfix's maker radiators I've got in other rooms in the house, and when I've looked at them, it's about what you've got, 2 inches, so hopefully that'll work out right. So I'm going to do the final bits of soldering now. I'll then give it 5 or 10 minutes to cool down, or however long it takes. You can possibly see on the radiator there, it's flashing up F1, which is a loss of pressure. You can see the pressure gauge to the left there's on 0. So I'll then go and turn off the drain off downstairs, put some pressure back in. I'll probably bleed the radiators off, although they're not getting used at the minute because it's the summer, but just in case. So just recapping how I drained the radiators, I've just got a flexible hose that leads outside and into the drain. And on this particular radiator that I've previously replaced, I installed a drain off, so I'll pull it off. There shouldn't be much water in it, hopefully. Just the air coming. But anyway, so you can see there, to drain it off, just got that drain plug there. Just going to turn it back off now because I've finished. But it's handy for draining the heating system nice and easily. So if you put one of these on, you just want it basically at the lowest point in your heating system. And I've just sort of hand tightened that back up. This radiator I've never turned off because I wanted both the sort of floors and the returns to drain down. So I'm going to go around now, turn all the other radiators back on, get a bit of pressure in the heating system, and then I'll bleed the radiators. I'll show you how I'll bleed it as well, and then we'll go and check for leaks upstairs. I'm just going to put some water back in the boiler. Put the light on. So we're now going to put some water back in the boiler. So on my boiler I've got this half turn here. You can see we're on 0 on the pressure. Got another here, so this is from the cold water feed. Sorry, that's a cold water feed, and it goes to the hot water central heating. Turned it on. Yeah, it takes a little minute before it starts moving, but you can see it's starting to rise now. Once between a bar and 1.5 bar in there. What I'll do is I'll fill it up to 1.5, then I'll go around and bleed everything. Once I've checked that there's no leaks on my pipes, and then I'll come back and top it up if it needs to, because once you've bled the radiators, the pressure might drop slightly. So obviously you're letting the air out. So it's a 1 bar just about there. It has got an auto air release in the boiler as well. I can hear that sort of slowly hissing away. It's coming up to 1.5 bars. So it's about a bar and a half there. I'll just turn it off with that, or half turn for now. Like I say, it's on a bar and a half, but I think once we've been around all the radiators, let a bit of air out, it does normally drop. Good news is there's no signs of any leaks. I'll have a good feel around with my hand in a minute, but there's definitely no water pouring out of anywhere. That's good. The join there's one there, back to them. So it's under pressure this now, nothing leaking. There's a good sign. All nice and dry. All nice and dry. Feels a bit cold, but I think it's just a condensation, but it's not actually any water on my hand, so I'm happy with that. Like I say, it's a bar and a half, so you'd soon see if it was leaking, I think. Finished the plumbing. Next I'm going to put some cables in for the ring main. So I've already got two ends of the ring main up from the fuse box, so the loft's going to be on a completely separate ring to everything else. So that's one end of the ring main. One of them cables is the other end of the ring main, and then at the minute there's a radial circuit over to the aerial booster, which is hidden in behind all that rubbish. So that's hidden in there. So what I'm going to do for now is I'm going to roll a cable there. It's 2.5 twin and earth. I'm just going to take a leg sort of from that socket to, I'm going to put one round there, one round there, a couple on that back wall, one over there, and then come all the way back round with the other one to the other socket, and then when we come to connect it all up, it'll be a complete ring main with a radial off to the spur for the aerial booster. The boiler is on a separate circuit again. The lights I'm going to wire up while I've got, so again I've already got a permanent live up that's just that temporary light at the minute, but what I'll do is I'll put a couple of I'll have a light above there, above the stairs, a couple in the main loft area, and switches. I'll go over here, use funny equipment to see what's going on. Switches, I'll go over here, and there'll be a two-way down to downstairs and another switch downstairs somewhere. But for now I'm going to concentrate on the sockets. Just so you can see how I'm getting just so you can get an idea of what I'm doing with the ring main. I've brought my two ends round from the last bit of footage I showed you, so that's one end of the ring main, that's the other end of the ring main. The next socket is going here. Pull the nut down, get it up to come out, cut it off. That's now the two ends of the ring main. Now, if this was the last socket in the run, obviously they would both be together, but it's not. So what I'll do is now go to the next socket, which go on here. What I'll do now is I'm feeding this along back to the original one. Now enough cable down, another socket, probably go in the centre here, so another socket around here, and then we'll also allow for a socket on each wall. I need to put a couple of holes with the noggins along the bottom within the safe zone at the bottom. That's the two ends of my ring main now. And then the last socket is going to go here. Like that. I'm left with one point over there. Throughout the house, throughout the loft, going right the way around, and it comes right back around to the original bit. So I'm going to get all these cables clipped up now. and feed these through the noggins. So there we are, cables all nicely clipped along, secured along, so that's the full ring main install there. Next I'm just going to get a couple of cables in for the lights. So I've got a socket, switch sorry, to go on that wall there, just sort of when you come up the stairs, and then lights, I'll just be in the centre of the room. Yeah, I've got some of the Firstfix electrics done, so ring mains in there. I've also got the lighting circuit in. So like I say, recap of the ring main, 2.5 twin and earth cable coming up from the fuse box downstairs. Basically take it to 2 socket points and then follow it round, so you end up with the ring like you've seen on the video earlier on. Now normally with a lighting circuit, we'll bring the mains up from downstairs, take it into a light, that mains goes to the next light and then a switch wire into the light. Because this is the attic, and I'm not sure what type of lighting fittings I'm putting up, and I don't want connection boxes where I can't access them. In this room only, everywhere else is wired like that, but in this room I've taken the mains to the light switch positions. So there's a switch in the cupboard, there's a switch in the sort of bedroom area, and that's on a 2-way downstairs. So I've got a mains going up from downstairs into the cupboard light. The mains then go from the cupboard light to the bedroom light, and then from the switch position we've got the switched cable to the lighting positions, which is in the centre of the main bedroom and in the centre of the hall. This white cable you can see is going to be for smoke alarms. That's hardwired smoke alarms. So that's a 3-core cable. So you've got your live, neutral and a signal cable and an earth. So 3-core and earth. So I've put that in. That 3-core and earth one does need taken back downstairs as well, which is where the hardwired smoke alarms end at the minute. But that's just going to go down there. I'm going to do that one night in the week when I pull up the data cable. So the light, like I said, 1.5 twin and earth. So that's where I'll finish this video. Like I said, just a quick basic Firstfix of the attic, so it's not a lot to it really. It's been sort of a half day, 3/4 day's work by the time I've had breaks and messed about and stuff, so not a massive amount. I will be second fixing it at some point, and I might put a video on that sort of demonstrates a second fix or includes it, but that'll be down the line. But I say loads of other videos on the YouTube channel. Some are a lot more detailed than others, but this is literally just a quick sort of fill-in video. Just going to put one on for a while, and I thought I was doing something different to insulation, so I've put that on the main video I've been working on at the minute. It's the insulation one, so I'll put that on once the insulation's finished. As you can see at the minute, the first layer of insulation's in. There's another layer to go over the top and the plasterboard over that. So once I've got the second layer on of insulation, so I've finished off down the bottom, which I'm doing now. I've got the cabling and the plumbing done, so I'll finish that off, get the second layer on. I'll edit a video together for that and I'll put that one on as well. But in the meantime, thanks for watching this video. I've got loads of little snippets on our YouTube channel as we go on, so if you have a look at Renovating _Vane _Cottage, you can sort of see the YouTube snippets on the Instagram channel. But like and subscribe us on here on YouTube, and sort of follow us on Instagram, and you'll see how the house is progressing. There's loads more to do over the coming years. Once this attic's out of the way, I'll then be moving a bathroom from the back of the house to the front of the house. So there'll be a bit more plumbing there. They'll be getting the soil stacked to the front of the house somehow, and then obviously fitting the bathroom. Once that's done, there's doors, windows, plastering. I'm going to put a downstairs toilet in at some point, and then there's stuff outside like putting the driveway and putting some drive gates in, but I'll probably be into next year. But like I say, if you keep following on here, keep putting snippets on so you can see how the house is progressing over the years. Thanks for watching.